Hello and welcome to the second season of the Football Podcast with myself, Azad, and welcome to the show, Jack.
Welcome again to the show. Yeah, it's great to be back
Yeah,
talking
it's
to
been
you
a
again.
while. It's been
Yeah.
a while, but we'll hopefully be a little bit more consistent with these football podcasts. And today we've got a really exciting topic to start off the second season. We're going to be speaking about Lee Kang-in, or is it Kang-in Lee, Jack?
Wow. Wikipedia tells me Lee Kang-in, so I'm going
Okay.
with that.
That
Yeah.
shows you our knowledge of this topic. Right, so we're going to be speaking about this really exciting player, 22-year-old. I'm sure everyone listening in on this podcast, I'm sure, knows about this player. Um, Looks really, really exciting. We know a few things about him. What do we know, Jack?
Well, first of all, he's ridiculously young, ridiculously talented, and he's South Korean. Ticks all the boxes for most of our listeners.
I think,
But
yeah, go
yes,
for it.
he's currently playing in La Liga for Mallorca and the South Korean national team as well. I've not seen him in the flesh, but I've heard exciting things about him. And the reason he's come to our attention is because he's linked with a move to the Premier League, which seems like the destination for every aspiring footballer, don't you think?
Yep. And more specifically, he's been linked to Sonny's Spurs, right? Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, is it Tottenham Hotspur? Well, they do like their players from South Korea because they've had success with the main man, Son Heung-min. How long's he been there now at Spurs, Son Heung-min?
It's been a few years. It's been
Oh,
a few years. It's almost like he's part of the furniture now,
part of the
right?
furniture, yeah, definitely. He must be coming up to 5 or 6 years. But
Yeah.
what a player! And so I think he has changed the perception without being negative, but the perception of East Asian players and the fact that there is such a brilliant talent pool over there that people are less reluctant to take a chance or are going, actually, there's some really skillful players. And Lee Kang-in seems to be top of that pile at the moment.
Yep. Yep. So hopefully we'll be seeing him in the Premier League very soon. He's also linked to Newcastle, um, who have been who have come in for a lot of money recently with Saudi investment. Um, so it seems like that is a destination he might be going to. However, they have been linked to quite a lot of players, to be honest. Anyone who seems up and coming, a rising football player, it seems like he may be going there as well. What do you think? How do you think he would fit the Premier League, Canning Lee, in his position that he plays? He plays a kind of left attacking midfield. He's not a winger per se, but I think he can play in that position. What do you think in terms of his stature? Um,
Well, I think first and foremost, if he's being linked with Tottenham Hotspur, that they need basically a kick up the backside anyway. They need a complete turnaround. We've seen recently they've had a poor run of results, and they're on to their, is it third manager of the season? Yes, in Ryan Mason. They got rid of Antonio Conte, and then they had his number two, Stellini, and now they've got their old boy, Ryan Mason, who's still 31, is still ridiculously young as well. So first and foremost, for him to go to Spurs, that might be the right a player to, change their fortunes, really. Attacking midfield, playing, I imagine, through the centre. I don't know whether they're going to keep players like Harry Kane because he's linked with my club, Manchester United, because unfortunately, Tottenham Hotspur fans, he's still not won a trophy in his career, Harry
oh
Kane.
my gosh!
And the other day, I saw that he became the second highest top goal scorer in Premier League history, tied
Wow.
with Wayne Rooney, and he's just behind Alan Shearer. So for him to become he could become the Premier League's all-time top goal scorer and never win a trophy. So anyway, I digress. If Harry Kane leaves, then they need a player to get goals, create chances, or really, spark this new era at Tottenham Hotspur, and Lee Kang-in could be that player.
And recently, he's actually scored quite a few goals. So there was a last-minute winner against Getafe a few matches ago. So he's doing really, really well in that department as well, to get goals. And I'm sure that's something that Spurs are looking for, someone else from the midfield department to get goals. So that seems like an interesting thing that they are looking at. In terms of Newcastle, he would suit their style of play as a young player. It seems like that's the profile they're looking for these days. But genuinely, I think Spurs would be a better destination for him, mainly because of Sonny, right?
Oh.
He has his compatriot there, right? What do you think?
I think that's spot on, yeah. I think he will have seen how Son Heung-min has been adopted by that fan base, and also increased the fan base of Spurs. And let's not forget, they are, in a prime position. They're in the capital of England, with a brilliant new stadium. I've heard, I've never been, but apparently it's the best in London. I'm sorry, Azza.
I'm an Arsenal fan, don't forget.
And yet he will have seen the reception that Son Heung-min's had, and I've just checked, Son Heung-min has been there since 2015, so to have that longevity and to be there for 8 years, something must have gone right, and not just the paycheck. So yeah, I think that he could settle in quite well. And I've checked the price. His estimated value is around £20 million. So it could be a snip. It could be quite a bargain deal. Yes, his stats for the season: he's played frequently in La Liga. He's notched up over 30 appearances, which is excellent for such a young age as well, in his early 20s. And yeah, he's getting the experience in a top league in Spain. So I think he's all set. I think he will have to move away from Mallorca to really increase his profile. I think if he stayed at Mallorca, then he won't have as much exposure. No offense to Mallorca.
No, I totally agree. I think many people don't really know about him. He's not a superstar like Sonny or the other players that you've mentioned. So to get to that next level, it may be tricky for him, maybe the first season, if he did move to the Premier League. But to move to that next level, I think would be great. And also, don't forget, there are other Korean players in the Premier League. You also have Hee Chan-hwang at Wolves, right? So he has also come in, and he's been okay so far, but he's still new to the Premier League. So he will have some company in the Premier League to help him out there. But yeah, that's about Kang-in Lee. I don't think there's much to add from our perspective. Jack, what do you think?
No, good luck to him if he does come to the Premier League. And I think if a team, maybe in a top half of the table team, we're talking your Spurs, your Newcastles, Brighton. They're a great team.
That's a good shout. That's a very good shout.
They love a bargain.
They do.
And in a dynamic, attack-minded setup, he could thrive.
Great. So guys, let us know, what do you think? Do you think he'll be a success in the Premier League? Do you think he is a lightweight, or he would be strong? What's your thoughts? Please let us know. Okay. Thank you very much for joining this podcast, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.